to cover that. So on these, we had several questions. I think there were 9. Yeah, there were 9 covering various parts, but the key thing, it was covering the core area, the area of financial management, the area of financial reporting, and the area of management accounting. Those are the 3 areas this workbook was covering. And we shall have another workbook probably by tomorrow covering the specialization of audit and the specialization of tax. The 2 areas, we shall be covering that in a different workbook. So in this case, we look at so randomly. We may not look at each one of them directly, but we shall look at them randomly. And randomly, we shall start with the trend, the ones that we had not covered first. Yeah, the trend analysis. We do the cash budget, NPVs, then the group, because I know when you start with the group, it may be a longer question, but still we shall deal with that. So I'll start with the trend analysis. Trend analysis is part of the methods of analyzing financial statement, apart from analyzing using ratios and apart from analyzing using the cash flows, because it's still part of analysis. Trend analysis comes in, and trend analysis and the ratios and the common size, they are almost the same thing. Yeah, they are almost the same thing, because for the trend analysis, we are looking at the movement, the movement in values from one period to another, That's what we are looking at. Yeah, the change generally, like when you look at this question that we have been given, let's look at this. We have been given the income statement of Pepsi, inclusive income statement and statement of financial position or balance sheet for 2010 and 2009, and the required part, you are to prepare trend analysis for Pepsi company income statement and trend analysis for Pepsi company balance sheet. Remember, when you talk about the trend and you looked at when we are looking at the theory, the trend, we are observing the movement of how the business has been performing from one year to another, so that you can be able to observe the trend. Was there an increase or was there a decrease? That's what we refer to as the trend. So generally, when you're dealing with trend analysis, the first thing is you find the change, like between the 2 years. And that's why you cannot be able to find the trend with 1 year, like the ratios, the way we use 2 years or the cash flows. Here we have to have 2 or more years. You can find the trend in 1 or more, 2 or more years. They're the ones that will assist you to find the trend. So the first thing you do whenever you're finding the trend analysis, you find the change. Yeah, you find the change. And after finding the change, you find the percentage change. Yeah, percentage change. Yeah, the change and the percentage change, those 2 items. So your the statements now, the trend now will be shown using the percentage change, so that you can know whether the net sales increased, whether the cost of goods sold increased, and so on. That's what we are referring to as the trend, that percentage change, because trend is normally shown using the percentages. So in this case, to find the change, we take 2010 minus 209 of all the items that we are having. Yeah, you just need to minus the 2010 and you minus the this other year, and this one you can just drag because it's just a simple change. Yeah, getting that particular difference. Yeah, the change from 209 to 2010. And when you want to get the percentage change, remember we base on the base year. Yeah, percentage change. The percentage change is expressing our percentages in our change in terms of percentage. Like for the first one, the net sales, from 2009 to 2010, we had an increase of 14,606, and it increased from what? From 42. it increased from 42 to 32. So you just divide with that, and again this one we shall drag that. Like when you double click this, you'll find that you have taken this E14 374 divided by this, so that you can get the change, and this one you convert it into percentage. So that when you analyze it, we can say that net sales increased by 34% between 2009 to 2010. If it is our gross profit, we had an increase of 35%. Yeah, we had a gross profit increase of that 5%. That is from 2009, which we had at 23, to 2010, which we had that 1. So that's an increase of that 5%. If it is other operating, we had an increase of 86% because it increased from 63 to 117. When we come to taxes, we had a savings. 2009 we paid this, so we had a decline in the amount of tax that we paid by 10%. Amount of tax that we paid. If it is in terms of net income, we had an increase of 6% from what we reported in 2009 to what we are reporting in 2010. So that's what it entails when we are dealing with the trend analysis. Interest expense, you can see interest expense was the one that it increased with a very high margin. Yeah, 127% change from 2009 to 2010. So you can be able now to see that particular variance, and you can be able now to advise the company accordingly. Yeah, if you are the financial advisor, you can advise them accordingly on the actions to take in order either to improve profitability or to decrease, reduce the expenses, or even to increase the net sales, depending on the objective of the organization. Yeah, so that is the trend analysis for the income statement. So trend analysis of the financial statement, the same thing. Yeah, the same thing, where we are needed just to get the change, the percentage change. Yeah, we first get the change from one year to the other, and we get the percentage change. There is one that way, and I will drag this, yeah, up to that point. Yeah, that way. These dashes, just eliminate them. Yeah, that is our values, the change. Assets increased by 2,000, marketable security. So all of them, we had an increase, apart from income taxes, where we had a decrease of 94, and preferred stock. Yeah, still that one we had a decline. Is it a decline really? Yeah, it's on because they are negative. Yeah, this one was presented as negatives in this particular statement. Because they are presented as negatives, then we just present them the way they are. You just need to find the percentage here. Yeah, divide by the base period, and this one I will be able to drag this. Yeah, eliminate, change that to percentage, eliminate these other values that we don't require. Yeah, that way. So you can, again, if you are to analyze the trend, just what we are observing, yeah, what about if it is more than 2 years? Yeah, so if it is more than 2 years, the question now will be able now to tell us they need a trend for how many years, because assuming now we are dealing with 208, yeah, from 208, 209 and 2010. So still you will find now the change from 208, you still use 2 years, from 208 to 2010. So we shall find out the difference between,
maybe Mwalimu,
yes,
let's say for example it has 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012.
yes,
The base year doesn't change. It remains
the base
constant.
year
It's
doesn't change,
2009.
it will remain constant. Yeah, so we can either now calculate year on, or year 1, year 2, or you can calculate the cumulative. If we need now to find the trend for the 3 years, we shall calculate the base and 2010. Assuming now we are having base as 208, we shall calculate 208 and 2010. or the question can require year in, year out. From year 1 to year 2, we observe that particular trend. Like maybe 2008 to 2009 was 51%, it became 60, it became this one, or we just find cumulatively the change from 2008 to 2010. So depending on the setting of the question. Yeah, so the base year, it will remain the same. That one will not change. Whenever you're dealing with 2 years, the base year still will remain the same. So that way, so that's how the trend analysis. So
Mwalimu,
the
okay, is there a difference between trend analysis and growth rate? There's a question that
okay,
we are working on a growth rate, and this one I just think they are more similar. Don't know what.
yeah, they are more of similar, but remember now the one that you are calculating the growth rate, mostly the growth rate you are measuring only on revenue. You are not calculating the growth rate for the entire statement. So it's the same, yeah, it's the same version, but now here we are calculating for the entire. That's why now we
But
are calling it the trend.
plus, Mwalimu, I think growth rate,
Mm-hmm.
it is based on consecutive years.
Yeah,
But now when we
consecutive
look at
years.
the trending, the base year is fixed. You lock it.
Yeah, the base
For
year is fixed. That one
but
does not change.
for growth,
Mm-hmm.
it is consecutively the years they are following each
Yeah,
other.
the years must follow each other when you're looking at the growth rate. But for the trend, it's not a must for the years to follow each other. As long as you're having the base year, then you can be able now to find the trend. You're dealing with more than 1 year. So I believe that one is understood under the trend analysis. Trend analysis. So that's the first question. We go to the second one.